You good now? All right. I'll edit out the front, whatever we have to. All right. You ready to roll? Hey, I'm Chad with Cottonfield RC. Today we got Captain Jack with us. He is the P51 Mustang man. That's his favorite plane, and we're gonna get him to help us do this build for you.
Cripes somebody.
There you go. There you go. We got the E-Flite P51 Mustang 1.2 meter Cripes Mighty. Very simple, quick build as always on our videos. We know grown adults know how to take stuff out of a box, so we're skipping that part. So let's get started there, Captain Jack.
We're building, and Captain Ensign Colton is gonna do the maiden flight.
You should pan around and catch his view on that. I don't think he's in agreement with that too well. All right, we're gonna get started. So we got the horizontal stabilizer first, and the spar or wing joiner, whatever you want to call it. You want to move around where you can get a shot of what we're doing over here. It just slides together. You got one self-tapping screw Phillips on each side. And as always, in this country, we don't have a Phillips screwdriver the size of the screws is made, so you have to get the closest you can.
All right.
You good?
Shoot it to it.
Well, if I can get a hold to the screw, it's wanting to slide there. Let's try a different screwdriver. That one's already not wanting to bite. Sometimes these things will start a little bit crooked, but they will straighten themselves out by the time they get home where they belong. The other side. Get over here so I'm not blocking the camera view. Try to anyway. Because Lord knows we're professionals. Tight. Looks good. All right. Next thing we got is to hook up the control horn. As always, we're going to wait till we get this thing powered up and bound to the radio so everything's centered. Kind of wasting your time to hook it up beforehand. All right, next we got the wing. Super quick build. Let's get inverted here. Oh, and the E-Flite left us a small amount of glue there. Let's get that out of the way. I'll hold the wing if you want to fish the wires. There's a very big hole to push all the wires through, and we always put at least one zip tie on them to clean them up and keep them together. Helps out getting them through just a little bit. And then we slide down nice and easy. There we go. Let's bounce up just a little bit. Let's flip it. See if we can make sure all of our wires are pulled through. And this is pretty much the exact same build. We didn't do a video on it as before we actually started videoing, but the 1.2 meter E-Flite Corsair is almost identical build. So if you can watch this video, you can do both planes basically. Now we sit down pretty. You got four, I believe they were 2 millimeter screws. Get them in there. one started, it's hard to tell so far. I have to do a little wiggling. That one caught. Some of these you do have to put just a small amount of down pressure on them to get them started, and I think that one did finally start. And on anything you build, get all your screws started before you tighten them down completely. You will make life a lot easier on yourself.
And put tanks on at this point.
Yeah, we can. We can stick them on. Make it look fancy. And you just wanting to snug these screws down till you start seeing the foam crush just a small amount. I mean, you can go all the way through the wing if you keep tightening. You definitely don't want that. There we go. All right, let's see what we got next. Basically, we got to put the prop on next. So what we're going to do, well, let's go ahead and hook up. We'll go ahead and hook up our wires. Your rudder and elevator and throttle are already connected, so you don't have to be concerned with that. You can double check to make sure in the right spot. That's a good idea. So flaps are going to go on number 6. That's our flap right there. And on these, can you see this pretty decent, Casey? Mm-hmm. This side of your connectors is always going to face away from the bind plug on your receiver. It's an easy way to keep up with getting them twisted back and forth. Back old school days when we were flying years and years ago, there was only one way they would go. You can put these backwards. So we're going to turn this one, what I had, number 6. And we're going to face away from the bind plug with the
clamp if you need
connectors. Yeah, that's good. The book don't want to cooperate. It wanted to abandon ship there. And we're going to go retracts, go to number 5. So we got gear to number 5, facing away from the bind plug. Tweezers, that's what you had just a second ago, right? Forceps or tweezers work great. If y'all don't have any, this is a good tool to have, especially for fishing wires through these small holes in these planes. What we got next, aileron's going to number 2. And we're going to make sure the connectors are facing away from the bind plug. And that's that. We're going to take a break for just a second, put a couple of zip ties on this and tidy it up a little bit, and we'll be right back. Alright, we're back with you. We went ahead and got all our wires tidied up a little bit, made them a little bit better. We went ahead and did radio setup on this one. Everybody has different radios. I use an IX12, so there's really no need in me going through the radio unless you got an IX12. It's not going to help you. We're going to go ahead and finish this up, get our prop on. We should be about ready to wrap this one up. We went ahead and measured our CG and marked it with a marker. We got a little trick that we do. We'll take a regular metal thumbtack and just clip the tip off of it. You don't want it going through too far and hitting a wire or anything, so we just clip like maybe about this much of the tip of it off, drop a couple of drops of foam to foam on it, and we're letting it sit up for a second right this minute so it'll get tacky. And we'll get this spinner put on, and then we'll put those on. That is a Phillips. Overall, this has been a pretty easy build. While we were doing the radio setup, we did have the right side gear not want to come down one time, but we could not get it to happen again. We're only assuming that it was just a fluke in the first cycling of it or something. We tried it approximately 10-15 times with no further problems. We should be good to go there. Go ahead and slide our canopy on. We got we're going to run a 4S 2200 in this Spectrum battery. That's what they recommend. We may bump up to a 3200, but we're going to see how it flies with the 22 first. We'll go ahead and get our fancy thumbtacks here. We just measure the recommended center of gravity, and we'll adjust from there. We like to try to keep ours as close as possible to what they recommend. Put it right on our dots there that we made for the most part. It's a lot easier to find these when you've got this thing inverted. You can easily find it with your fingers. Right there they are. Absolutely no problem, and they're super cheap. And it looks like we're going to be like super nose heavy right this minute. So we're going to need to move that battery back some. Let's go ahead and get that taken care of. And this one does come with the tray in it. And everybody I've seen deal with it lines the battery up with the flat ends of the tray. But I'm thinking this one's going to have to come a little further back. And my shelf liner on both sides is not wanting it to slide at all. That's another trick, shelf liner under your straps. You don't even have to have any Velcro when you do that. Line back up with this tray slides here. Go all the way forward till it locks. Now let's try that again. Good. That's a lot closer, but it's still a little bit nose heavy. So according to the plus or minus 3, yep. So if I go to the front of my thumbtack with my fingers,
Still a tad.
it's still a little bit nose heavy.
Just a tad.
So we're going to slide that back just a little bit further. At any rate, each plane's going to be different. We're not going to bore y'all with 30 minutes of us playing with a CG. Y'all can figure that out because each battery's going to be different depending on how the wires ran and the heat shrink. You're going to have minute grams of difference in each one. Anyway, we'd like to thank you for taking your time to watch us. If you have any questions, shoot me a comment. I'll try to get to it as quick as I can. Everybody thank Cat and Jack for helping us out on this build. Won't be the last time you see them. We're going to draft them as much as possible. But other than that, thank you for your time. Y'all have a good day.